Hi guys, Squirrel here, and welcome back to another episode of Trucking Diaries. I think we're on episode, what, 33 now? 33? Unbelievable. I have an important question to ask you later on, but first let us continue. So if you remember, we are in Eureka. We're outside of Walmart. It seems to have a mixed identity. Look at the door, it says Walbert on it, and look at the trailer, it says Walmart. I've signed a job. Well, I've put the waypoint for a job that's going to take us from Eureka. It's going to take us all the way up to Vancouver. So that's a heck of a journey. We may have to split this journey into 2 episodes because it is quite long. It's almost 1,000 miles, I think it is. But first, just looking at my little rest thingy. My guy's yawning. I need to rest. I have half a tank of fuel. I'm 6% damage on the trailer, which is just general wear and tear. So that's not a major problem. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive over there. This is a truck stop over there, so let's get back in the cab here. Make sure the parking brake is on. Okay, let's get the side lights going. And let's go over to the rest stop. Actually, let's go and pick up the... Actually, where is the trailer? I'll tell you what, let's go and get the trailer first, because it's actually further back this way. Let's grab the trailer, and then I'll come back to the rest area. And we'll rest up, and then we'll set off, probably first thing in the morning, or middle of the night, whatever it turns out to be. What time is it now? 6:34 PM. It says getting the wrong gear completely. There we go. Then we'll head off to Vancouver. Just looking at the sat-nav here. It's just around the corner. It looks like it's at McDonald's. I think it's a pretty boring trailer, to be honest. It's like office supplies or something rubbish like that. But to be honest, it was the only thing that was available that was heading north. The job market in this game continues to annoy me in some respects. Because... like, of all the jobs, there was like 2.5 pages of jobs, and only one of them is even going north on the map. The rest are all going south. Oh, there we go. Okay, this should be it. There you go, you can see it now. So they're only paying $18,000. It really doesn't pay a great deal, considering how far we go. Well, okay, back in the real world, that's insane. However, in this job economy, most of the jobs were paying way more for going south. But we want to go north. We're going to go through Hornbrook, Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver. I think what I'd like to do is, if we plot on the map, if we plot some waypoints to take us via these cities that we've not actually been into, it'll take us a little bit longer, but it means we get a look at some of the cities. But I have to warn you, since installing this map, I've had a quick look around, and some of them, well, I think most of them are copy-pasta, to be honest. In other words, they're not actually original cities that they've developed. They're copies from elsewhere, which is exactly what Coast to Coast has done as well. It is the quickest way to give people more content, I guess, so that's fine, but just be aware that these are not, you know, new and exciting cities that we're going to go and visit. You're going to be going, you know, we'll go up there and you'll be going, that looks awfully like Vegas. And that's because it is Vegas. That kind of thing. So be aware of that. Where the heck are we going? Where's the is that the trailer? Wow, I couldn't even see it flashing. Okay, this is going to be fun to get out of here. What the heck kind of delivery point is this? Office supplies from McDonald's? How does that even work? Look at the texture on that. Look at that. Wow. That's like something out of the 90s or like the early 90s. Sega Mega Drive bitmap graphics. Fantastic. Right. Let's have a look. USA Truck Capacity Solutions. Which way do we go out of here? If we go straight on, that looks like a very tight bend. If we go left, we'll probably wipe this guy's car out. Wow. This is actually quite tricky, isn't it? That is not a lot of room for manoeuvre. Don't think that's going to work. Let's try straight on. Looks like it gives way slightly to the right here, which should let us move. Good grief, this is insane. I can't even get out. Just wow. Just wow. Is this even possible? Okay, I'm actually hitting the back as well as the front now. There is no way this trailer can fit around here. It's just not going to happen. Meanwhile, my guy's yawning. Okay, well, we've got ourselves a nice little pickle here. Gonna fit through there. Not strictly legal. But it does the job. Honestly? How are you supposed to get out of there? How are you supposed to get around that? That's insane. Like, you may be able to do that in a European cab over. But I don't see how you could do that in something like a long wheelbase. Or even this. I mean, good grief. I need to go back and look at that later, because that's interesting. That was an interesting pickup point. Right, so we're going to go over here. We'll find the rest stop. Where's the nearest rest stop? There's actually one... Bizarrely, there's one there at the car dealer, I think. Is that a rest area? Allegedly. Whoops, wrong gear. Okay. Not to worry, we're on our way. I thought for a minute we were going to get stuck then. This thing only needs to be here on, is it Thursday or something? Yeah, look, it's only Monday now. It needs to be there Thursday morning, so that gives us plenty of time to do without AC/DC poster. No way. Love AC/DC. Okay. Nice big rest area. Truck wash. Still can't use the truck wash. Never forget the first time I played this game and came across the truck wash. It's like, oh my god, a truck wash! Not that your truck gets dirty, but I was so excited. And then my dreams were scattered when I realised that when you drive up to that truck wash, nothing happens. Let's go to sleep. Okay, 5 AM, perfect time of day to be hitting the road. Let's get some miles under our belt. I do like the lights in this game, like it works pretty well. Especially the skyboxes. I remember the skyboxes in Euro Truck used to be really basic, and then they did a lot of work on them. And because there used to be third-party mods you could get that would improve the skybox, but then SCS took it upon themselves to improve the skybox in Euro Truck, and then that came over into American Truck. And now it looks pretty good. The sunrises and sunsets are absolutely great in this. I love it when the roads are this quiet. Nope, doesn't like 16. It can cope. It's not a hill. So, I have a question for you. It's something that I've been thinking about for a little while now, and it was something that was posted as well as a comment on my last Trucking Diaries video. Some guy went, does anybody else miss Euro trucks? Like, as in, I don't seem to make many videos about Euro truck anymore, which is completely true. I think there was a lot of hype around American truck, and I made a lot of American truck videos. There's no doubts about that. But the Euro truck world is moving as well. There's things going on in the Euro truck world. I'm going to go into here. I guess I've got to go... Yeah, no entry. So I've been thinking to myself, well, Trucking Diaries seems to be something that people enjoy. What if I did a similar series, but for European Truck Simulator? And I want to ask you guys what you think about that. What about a Trucking Diaries EU, effectively, which is... I don't know, it'd be the same thing. It'd be starting off in career mode, brand new profile. Obviously, I'd have a world of mods to choose from. So it wouldn't be like, you know, when this one started, the game was just out and there was just 0 mods available. So we started off in full career mode with no mods. And then gradually I started to bring in some mods as they became available. With European Truck, that's just not the case. I have an army of mods, you might say, that I could use. Obviously, I would need to be a little bit careful with my mod selection, because some of them, in the same way of American Truck Sim, you can actually get mods that break your economy in a way. And when I say break your economy, I don't mean they damage it. What I mean is, the amount of money that is paid for the trailer is way, way, way above what you would normally get. So let's say you'd normally get $3,000 for a 400-mile delivery or something. You might get $10,000 with this, which doesn't break your economy per se, it just breaks your career mode. That's probably a better way of phrasing it. Because you're bringing in far too much money than you should be because you're using the mod. Which is okay to a lot of people, but to me is not that okay. I accidentally picked up such a mod when I took the Petronas Formula 1 racing trailers, and the amount of money I got paid for it was ridiculous. It was absurd. And not only that, my AI drivers did exactly the same thing. They took a trailer with these Petronas Formula 1 racing cars on the back, and instead of coming home with $9,000, they came home with $50,000. And it was just completely silly. So I'd need to avoid that kind of thing. But I certainly would have no shortage of map to drive on. You know, we've got the full Pro Mod suite, we have the full Russian map. You know, Hungarian map is built into Pro Mods now, so, you know, we have a ridiculous amount of road to drive down in the European Truck Sim, and a lot of it is really good quality as well. So we definitely have no shortage of places to drive. But obviously you'd see me build up a career again, which I haven't done for 3 years, I think it is. 3 years since I started a proper career playthrough in European Truck Sim. The game had only been out about 3 months when I started playing it, and I built a career. So anyway, my question to you guys is, he says waffling on for a while. My question to you guys is there any interest in me doing a Trucking Diaries EU version? You know, when I start off in career mode. If there is, leave me a comment and let me know. Or if you've got any suggestions as to how I should go about that, you know, what I should do differently maybe to American Trucking Diaries, or if it's just, yep, do it in exactly the same way, do a full career playthrough, exactly what you did in American Truck Sim, go and do that in European Truck Sim, and we'll be happy bunnies. If that's the case, then say that. If you don't think it's a good idea, I feel too high in this truck. If you don't think it's a good idea and you're thinking, just carry on with the American truck, we don't really need another Trucking Diaries, then fine, just say so. Have your say, as it were. me slow down here. So that cop's pulled over that UPS van, but I don't trust them not to book me if I drive past at 55 miles per hour. If I drive past at 60, I don't trust them not to give me a ticket. Even though it's completely absurd that they could even book me because they're completely preoccupied dealing with the UPS guy. But I'm not taking the risk, because I know what this game's like. That's the other thing about European Truck, we wouldn't have to put up with quite so many speeding tickets, because everything's signposted properly and there are cameras rather than, you know, cops on the other side of the road going the other way who can still book you, which I never liked. I'm sure it happens in real life, but I never like that. It just seems like entrapment to me, that one. Nice rig. So that is my question to you. Let me know what you think. Part of me is quite happy to be able to drive north on this map, but part of me is a bit disappointed that the city's a copy-pasta. Although I completely understand why. It was very similar in the days of European Truck Sim. The early days of map making was exactly the same. People cry out for content, they want new places to drive, and quite frankly, it's a lot easier to just lift existing assets, drop them into different locations on the map, give the city a different name, and then just link up the roads. You know, it doesn't take that long to do, and it gives people new places to drive, but it's an illusion. It's not really giving you new places to drive, it's giving you a new road, but a destination that you've already seen. But some people are not paying attention and they don't realise that that's happening anyway. They'll be like, oh, this is nice, this is new, and it completely isn't new. It's actually the same city that you've been to further away on the map. But it keeps people happy, you know, because that's what they want. They want more miles. They don't want to go to the same places anymore. And also because the map editors are fairly new to the whole thing, they don't know how to build new maps yet, so they're still kind of learning. And the easiest way to learn pretty much anything is to copy first and then understand later. So they just copy what they see, lift it, move it, and then later on they'll come to understand how to tweak it, like you start making adjustments, and then eventually you'll be able to build your own assets. But to ask somebody to construct a city, like 10 cities now, in a new location on the map, it would take months, quite frankly. It's a lot of effort making a city out of scratch with new assets, an absolute huge amount of effort. Even if you don't use new assets, even if you use existing assets, the existing buildings, and signs and pavements and all that kind of thing, even if you do that, it still takes quite a long time to assemble and then iron out all the problems in the map. So, you know, I'm not having a go at the guys for doing it at all. I think it's great that they've given people new places to drive, but I am saying, oh, you scumbag! What speed was I doing? 40? Oh well, fair enough. What I'm saying is don't expect anything original, because you're not going to get it. I kind of hoped it was, but it's not. I'm still struggling to read the speedometer, and I forgot to press the I key to show my digital speed. I still find the Kenworth speedometer a bit of it's just me, I think. I find the speedometer with denominating in 5s just a little bit tricky. It's weird. It's just something in my brain that just doesn't seem to like it. I definitely prefer a digital speedometer readout over that, or just an analog speedometer in units of you know, 30, 40, 50 rather than 25, 35, 45. But yeah, I was just blatantly speeding then, so I deserve to get a ticket. There's no doubt about that either. Nice. Look at the trailers over there. Nice. Look at the queue. Unlucky. Whoops. That's where I put 14th. I was wondering where I put 14th then. I realised what was going on. It's because I've been driving in a different truck, and I've not got the Eaton Fuller 18 speed. I think I've got a what is I had in that one? Was it a 12 speed? I can't remember. But I'm having to mentally switch. I'm having to mentally switch the gear positions in my head now, because I just realised that the gears are not in the same places. If you just drive the same rig, you know, you get used to it, and then when you switch into another rig where the gearbox layout is different, it really screws with your head. It really does. Like split shifting into different places on the gearbox. It can take a bit of adjustment again. Okay. Freeway 5. Does he call it Freeway 5? Or is it like Interstate 5 or something? Nope, not 10th. Yeah, I'm still making a hash of these gears. It's because each step in the gearbox doesn't go up in twos like it does on a 10 or a 12 speed. It goes up in singles. And so where I'm sort of moving the stick over one notch, if you like, to get myself 2 gears, that's not happening. I'll get there in a minute. Actually, I think we can drop down to side lights. Now, one of the things we need to do as we head north is plan our journey a little bit, as I said, because there are 2 reasons for that. Let's bring up the map. There are 2 reasons for that. The first thing is that these rest areas here, and the fuel stops in particular, are few and far between, as you may notice. You've got one just before Hornbrook, and then as you cross the border, there's just absolutely nothing until you get to Portland. So you do need to be aware of that, because up north here it can actually catch you out. There are some places where you can see how there's a fuel stop here between Edmonton and Prince George. That is a long journey, but look, between Kamloops and Calgary there's nothing, and I kind of got caught out here. I almost ran out of fuel when I went down there. So it definitely pays to plan ahead. The other thing is, if I think about which cities we've not got. So if we look at the freight market for a second, you can see I don't have Hornbrook or Portland. I've never been into them. So what I need to do is get off the highway and trigger the waypoint, which is a little bit annoying. It means I have to get off the highway and go in and turn back out again, but it does mean then I can pick up jobs from Hornbrook. Same thing in Portland. If we get off here, we might be due for rest about this point, I'm not sure. So what we'll do is I'll plan that one now. And then up to Seattle, we'll do the same thing. At Seattle, we'll maybe just bring in a little route there. Why is it getting off there? Then going back again. It's crazy. And then into Vancouver. So yeah, the fuel stops are few and far between, but we also need to make sure that we visit those cities so that they're unlocked for us in the job market properly, which means you can then select. It's always kind of bugged me in a way, that gameplay feature. If you've not been to a city, you can't look at the jobs available there, and I mean, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Think about it. Like, how can I just not know what jobs are available from a city that I've not been to? Like, why can't I just look on the internet or pick up the phone or something and just go, have you got any jobs? It doesn't make any sense, but it's just a gameplay mechanic. It just can be slightly annoying if you've not been there. You can get things to that destination, but you can't get anything from that destination. But then you might argue, well, why would you want to pick up a job from a city you've not been to yet? Because you're going to have to go there just to get it anyway. Well, that's true. But then, why not just let me see it anyway? Yeah? Because if there's a city nearby, and I think, and I look at it, and I'm like, oh, I've not been there, let me have a good look at the jobs. Oh, that's a good job. I'll drive over and get it. Why is that such a big deal? I can understand them wanting to encourage you to pick up cities and to visit cities, but I can't understand the job market lockdown until you've been there. It's kind of weird. Look outside, look at that view. Just wow. trees, mountains, and rivers is lovely. This road here, where there's one road going low, one going high, that reminds me of a place. Where is it now? I think it's either on the way to Wales or on the way to Devon. I'm trying to think now in the UK. There's a place that does exactly the same thing. One goes high road and one goes low. Okay, we're getting off here. This is Hornbrook. Okay, just realised I don't have a retarded gearbox. Again, that's another difference from my my other truck. I do like the retarded gearbox because it means when I'm on the highway like that, when I'm in cruise control, I can just touch the retarder once, activate it to the first level, and what it'll do is it'll disengage the cruise control, and then it'll start to slow me down for the ramp without me even touching the brakes, and I really like that. And I haven't got a retarder on this gearbox, so it's a little bit annoying. Look at the roadworks ahead. That's cool. Okay, we'll just do a drive-through. We've already refueled. Clear. Wow, there's hardly any traffic. I have noticed in this game, sometimes you'll be on roads where they're really busy, and then sometimes you'll be on roads where you think, have I got the AI turned off? Like, really, like, look at this, where is everybody? Actually, it's not cleared that waypoint. I don't think it's there. It might have cleared the waypoint. If you don't clear the waypoints properly, then it'll always try to reroute you back down there, and it's a bit annoying. So if that's not cleared out, I'll have to... Hello, could you move over, please? Thank you. Yeah, if it's not cleared out, I'll have to deselect it manually in the map. Okay, we are now heading into new territory, so what you're going to notice about this is... Well, look, it starts to go a bit barren. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are definitely barren, deserted areas in North America. But sometimes they get a bit too barren, I think. There you go. This is new map territory now. This is non-SCS territory. So this is some guy has built this. Pay attention to the speed limit because it's still only 55 at the moment. I think, actually I'm trying to remember what the speed limit in Canada is. I think it might be 80 or something. I'm not sure. I've got a feeling it's higher than California. But for now it's 55. Look at that. There's just nothing. It's just the sky and then the ground and a couple of signs. That's it. But at least we've got AI traffic to keep us company. So have a look at the distance remaining. Wow, we're still over 1,000 miles. What the heck? I thought this journey was only 1,000 miles. It must have been further. It must have been further if we've still got 1,000 left. Blimey. Let me get them out of lane. I don't know what's going on. These guys seem to be going a little bit... They're doing about 50, 51, I think. So if I do 55, I can slowly cruise past. With that guy in a truck that blocks all the other drivers who want to go faster, like, get out of the way. Look, the seamless transition from dirt into grassland. You hear the cab rattling. That's quite cool. There's a mod called Sound Fixes, which is in my mod spreadsheet, and Sound Fixes gives you lots of little sound effects, and that's one of them. Like little rattling things in cages is one of the things it gives you. Is he actually gonna... I don't know if they do it in the States, but in the UK, when you get that situation, often that truck driver will flash the guy in front to let him know that it's clear. I don't know if they do that in the States or not, to be honest. I think looking at this, given that we're, well, less than 1,000 away now, if we aim for that rest area, I think was it Portland? Because the problem is, because I've got fatigue turned on, I have to find somewhere to rest. And this is another problem you'll find with this map, because the rest areas are few and far between. You really need to plan your journey out, because if you don't, you can find yourself hundreds of miles away from a rest area, and your guy is tired, and he keeps yawning, and then he starts blacking out, and then you get a fine. And there's nothing you can do about it, because you can't get to a rest area. And it's not like in real life where you could... Wow, 2 cops. It's not like in real life where you could just pull over somewhere and take your obligatory rest. You can't do it in this game. You're not allowed to rest anywhere that's not an official rest area. Which is something that is... it's always annoyed me slightly, but I'll be honest with you. I just think there should be a lot more rest areas in the game. Like, a lot more. There should be just random rest areas down the side of roads. Not on this road, obviously, but... You know, there should be lots of little places you can rest. Because there are. You know, there just are in real life. It's interesting how it's gone more kind of green and grassy and... You know, lots of shrubs and stuff on this area. I'm going to move over, I think. Ooh, 2 containers. Look at the bushes overgrown into the road here. That could be either a map error, where the guy dropped them and didn't put them down correctly, or he deliberately put them down to make them look overgrown. We'll never know. It's so hard to get any kind of depth perception out of that mirror. Arizona. When are you going to come, Arizona? SCS. When are you going to release out Arizona? We definitely need some quality map area. But even then, even when Arizona comes, I mean, what's it going to bring? It's going to bring a whole bunch of cities and a new state, and that's it. And what's after that? Let's say we're looking at... Let's say a May release. Or, I mean, I'm hoping for a May release. If I'm completely honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it was June before that map comes out. Let's say June, right? And then, so that's an average of what? They kicked it off in the end of February, so March, April, May, June. 4 months. Let's say 4 months average. That means the next one will be July, August, September, October. So we then have a new map in October. I wonder where the third-party map will be by the time we get to SCS's post-Arizona map extension. I reckon by then you'll be able to drive down to Florida. You'll be able to go all the way up the East Coast, probably into northeast Canada, northwest Canada, and down in the middle of this. I reckon you'll be able to drive pretty much everywhere. It won't be great quality, and it will be copy pasta cities, but I reckon you'll be able to get across most of America in some way. That's what I think will be. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But what can we do? You release a game like this, you'd think you'd want to chuck out content all the time. Like, every map DLC they bring out is money. It's like printing money. You'd think a company would just want to get that out the door, wouldn't you? It's difficult. I mean, making maps takes a lot of effort. More effort than people realise, I think. But it's just annoying. It really is. It's like Volvo. Like, you can get... In the last version, they brought out the Steam Workshop support for the mods, and if you look in the Steam Workshop, you can find a Volvo VNL, and it's actually a really good one by Aradeth. It's a really nice Volvo VNL, and we know, because we saw it, that there was some kind of Volvo in the game. American Truck Sim had, like, when it released, it had like a Volvo in it, and like, we know that SCS had some Volvo content in the game, because when it came out, if you remember, when the game very first came out, you went into the truck dealers and it listed Volvo as one of them. So something was put in the game that then was taken out, and I think the Volvo's not in the game because of contract reasons. So it's another thing that's, here we are still 3 months after release, and we still don't have a Volvo, and nothing even in sight. Like, I assume they're talking to Volvo, but there's just nothing in sight about a new truck. Another one back in Eurotruckland, the Renault Range T. That's been in the works for flipping heck. At least 6 months that I know of. The Renault Range T. They mentioned that ages ago. In a blog, they were talking about the Renault Range T coming to Eurotruck at some point fairly soon, and it's just not happened. And you're thinking, why? Is it that his contract thing, or I don't know. Everything moves so slowly. It really does. It's such a slow-paced game. I don't know, the development seems to be slow-paced as well. It's quite funny. Oh no, I'm getting tired already. That's insane. Hang on. Move over. Portland. Okay, I can see Portland on the map, and that means we can rest at Portland. But that demonstrates my point exactly. Wow, it's 6 PM already. Unbelievable. That's the other thing that catches me out about this game, is the ratio is different to Eurotruck. Like, by now I'd have probably been halfway through the day, and now it's 6 o'clock, my guy's getting tired, I need to get off at Portland and rest. It's just crazy. Things happen so quickly. Portland discovered. Now there is, I set my waypoint for a rest area, so we're going to head straight for that. But you can see, like, the high-rise buildings here. I don't know which city they're lifted from. You are getting very sleepy. Wait, how do we get off here? Look at the sat-nav, it's not routing me down this ramp. What the heck? I think I know what it's doing. I think I know what it's doing. It's trying to get me back to the original waypoint. It's very confused. I think it didn't clear that marker. I should have gone to the... Why have I gone this way? I should have gone to the repair centre. Don't cut me up, pal. That happens a lot in this game. The AI turns corners and the trailer drags behind it, and it ends up cutting into you. And then you get fined for it. It's just GG. It really is. Definitely one to be aware of. I like having the fatigue turned on because it makes it slightly more realistic, but I think it does annoy me when it's like yawning every minute. Just, okay, I get it. Right, there it is. There's the motel. Wow, what is going on over there with that bridge? Or whatever it is. You see the scenery there? There was definitely a scenery error. Did you see it? Wait, what? That's not how it's normally laid out. What the heck? Okay, that's caught me out. Normally there's like a rest area down the side here, but this one's been built into the side of the hill. Where do we rest? There we go. Right. Here it is then. Okay, so there are some subtle differences. This'll have to do. So we are in... Let's just have a quick look. We've gone through Hornbrook. We've come to Portland. Let's get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. Next stop is going to be Seattle and then up through Vancouver. But that's going to have to wait for the next episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. Please leave me a comments about the Trucking Diaries EU. Let me know what you think about the whole thing. Until the next time, take care. Happy trucking.